Danny Segura for MMA Junkie. I'm here in South Florida next to Miami's own Valerie Loureda, who returns to the cage against Taylor Turner. First of all, Valerie, how are you feeling? First time you fight in South Florida for Bellator. It must be feeling good, right?
Yeah, I mean, so when I signed with Bellator in 2018, I debuted in 2019. And I always dreamt of the day that Bellator would come to my hometown, and I feel like I kind of manifested it because over my stories these past 3 years, I've always put one day Bellator is going to come to Miami, right? And when I heard Bellator was coming to the Hard Rock, I knew this was my opportunity. And on top of that, it's on my dad's birthday. So it just feels like my world's aligning, and I'm just so excited this is going to be my day and my moment.
Yeah. So when this card got first announced, it was first the title fight that we're going to see in the main event with Cyborg and Kavanaugh. Were you like already immediately as soon as it got announced, bugging Bellator like, hey, I gotta be on this card?
So I was supposed to fight in October in Arizona. And I was already like in camp but not really losing the weight yet because I didn't have a fight or contract. And then when I heard Bellator was coming here, I just immediately stopped everything I'm doing. I didn't even have an opponent, and I just started losing weight as if I had a fight and getting in camp like if I had a fight because I knew that I had to be on this card.
Yeah. And you're coming off your first professional defeat. That was a tough loss. You know, your coaches were hard on you a little bit during the broadcast. Also, you know, the fans, you know, they're always going to be harsh as well. How was it like to deal with that defeat? I mean, the first time ever in your career. Was it difficult?
So it was difficult, not because I lost, but it was difficult because I lost to someone who was not better than me. And I lost to myself. I mean, before that fight, people don't know this, but my grandpa, I lost him to COVID, and I had to watch him die through a plexiglass with my Bellator glove on his chest right before that fight, and that broke my heart because I couldn't be there with him, and I just thought it was so wrong. And a lot of my training, I spent time in the funeral with my mom, cleaning up the house, you know, arrangements and stuff, and I forced myself to fight because the fans were like putting a lot of pressure on me because I hadn't fought since the knockout of the dance, and I'm like that. I always want to grow, grow, grow. But, you know, it wasn't the best moment for me to fight. My mind wasn't there. You know, I want a rematch at some point with that girl, with Hannah Guy. She's very nice, but some point I need a rematch with her because she didn't fight Valerie Loureda. And honestly, that loss was the best thing that happened to me because it forced me to change a lot of things. I changed my head coach to Thiago Alves, and I'm so blessed to have him in my corner. And I've had so much fun this camp. And Cattell, Joanna's coach, also has gotten involved with me. And I've been working my wrestling, my grappling, my jiu-jitsu 80% this camp. And I've really learned to fall in love with jiu-jitsu. And my last loss as an amateur forced me to go to American Top Team and look at everything I did. And after this loss, I changed my whole camp. I'm a completely different fighter now. My mind's in the right place. And I never said I wanted to be undefeated. I said I wanted to be one of the most entertaining fighters in MMA history. And that's what I'm here to do. You know, I'm young. I've lost like every other fighter has lost in the beginning of their careers. What's a big deal? You know, I'm young. People had fun in that fight. I didn't give up. You know, I showed hard, and I'm looking forward to continue my career with Bellator.
Yeah. First of all, sorry to hear about your grandfather. I know in our previous conversations, like you've mentioned how he's been such a like huge supporter for your career. So does it sound? It kind of sounds like you don't regret taking that fight, even though it wasn't in the best circumstances, because you are taking a lot from that defeat.
Yeah, no, I don't regret it. I don't regret anything I've done in my life. I just learned from it. But that fight has forced me to make changes that I wasn't confident enough to do before. But when I look back at that fight and I see my eyes and I realize I'm the one in there getting hit, it forces me to get out and realize I need to be selfish with my career, my business, and become the boss of my own self. And that's what I've done.
And you mentioned like, hey, everybody loses. I mean, even the champions have tasted defeat. Do you feel like the public is maybe too harsh on you because you only have 4 fights under your belt as a professional, and there they were, on social media doing their thing?
I love it, because if there's one person in the world that has that star power that could handle it, it's me. And I put myself in a position for the world to watch me develop into a full, well-rounded mixed martial artist in front of their eyes. So I expected this. Doesn't get to me. I'm looking forward to continuing prove myself right. I don't care about what anyone else says. This fight means so much more to me because I'm dedicating this fight in Miami to all my Cubans and my Cuban heritage. My grandparents fled Cuba to come to United States of America and give my parents and their grandchildren the American dream. And that's what I'm living here today. So what I'm going through is so easy compared to what they went through fleeing Cuba to come here, and I'm living the dream, and it's my duty to represent Cuban Americans in Miami and Cuban American women around the world.
Yeah, I'm sure there's going to be tons of Cubans, tons of Hispanics on Friday night. Lastly, tell the fans what's in store for Taylor Turner. What can we expect from that matchup?
Taylor, this is not a setup fight, as you could see. She's 5-7, a lot more fights than me. 38 years old, vet in Bellator, is 1-1 in Bellator. You know, I'm 23. This is my 5th professional fight. You know, she has a ton of submissions, a ton of KO, and I'm just looking forward to going there and have fun, bring back my Cuban salsa into that cage, my dances, and, you know, be able to share this moment with my friends, my family, and on my dad's birthday, bring him a win.